wild footsteps resound like nature's own drums, as millions of creatures surge together across the African savanna. On the boundless plains, they race forward in urgency. Crossing raging rivers that roar as if to swallow everything whole. The herds, relentless, unyielding. For before them lies the call of life itself, the tender green pastures, springing up only briefly after a fleeting storm. This is the Great Migration, one of the planet's greatest epics. Yet it is also a brutal trial. 1 in 10 will fall forever along the way. Still, the tide presses on, a wild, indomitable force, pounding like the heartbeat of the earth, always moving, always striving forward. Welcome to the wild savanna, where migration becomes a symphony of survival, of courage, and of life's eternal endurance in the face of majestic nature. Since the 1970s, the African savanna has echoed with an endless cycle of survival. Each year, more than 1.7 million wildebeest, 260,000 zebras, and 470,000 gazelles set forth together on a monumental migration epic. From the Serengeti to the Masai Mara, they cross over 1,200 miles of sun-scorched, unforgiving land, driven by the hope of reaching fresh green pastures and the life-giving waters. Every stride, every leap, is more than mere movement. It is a race for life itself, where fragile existence is constantly tested by the looming presence of death. The wildebeest herds surge forward like an endless, raging tide, sweeping up clouds of dry grass in the wind. Their hooves never cease, all driven toward the promised land. Each weighing up to 600 pounds, they face the merciless trials nature has set upon this path of life and death. But for calves barely 40 pounds, the world is a cruel survival test. Predators lurk in the shadows, waiting for the slightest mistake. Roars tear through the night, mingling with desperate cries that echo across the vast savanna skies. And yet, the greatest trial still lies ahead. The Mara River. Beneath its muddy waters, giant Nile crocodiles, stretching over 16 feet long, lie in silent ambush. Their dagger-like teeth are poised to snap shut on the weak, turning the river into a battlefield of life and death. On this journey, some 250,000 wildebeest and 30,000 zebras perish. Thirst of the dry season, hunger as pastures wither, and sheer exhaustion bring many down, while cold-blooded predators never miss their chance to strike the vulnerable. This is a brutal odyssey, where death is the inescapable soundtrack. Yet for the survivors, it is nature's ultimate trial, a relentless clash between hope and peril. Within this eternal migration epic, life and death intertwine, painting a grand, ferocious, and defiant portrait upon one of the harshest landscapes on Earth. The Serengeti, a vast, flat plain stretching over 5,700 square miles, is the birthplace of one of the greatest epics Earth has ever witnessed. This is the very heart of the Great Migration, a natural phenomenon that has echoed for millions of years, etched into every shift of the land, every breath of the climate, like an endless symphony of life. It is here that the lifeblood of countless species begins. Around 2 million years ago, the arrival of the blue wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle laid the foundation for a one-of-a-kind ecosystem. On the Serengeti, the eternal cycle of life was set in motion. When the rains return, green shoots burst from the soil, summoning the great herds to march. And when the dry season scorches the land, the parched earth becomes a call to leave, driving millions onward in search of new promised pastures. According to scientific research in 2023, the Great Migration began some 1.7 million years ago, during the Pleistocene epoch, a time when Earth was both unforgiving and nurturing. Since then, nature has forged a survival cycle essential to the savanna, a timeless rhythm that humankind today can only observe from afar with awe and wonder. Since the 1970s, relentless conservation efforts have gradually brought stability back to the herds. Their numbers began to recover, and the grand story of life continued to be written, stretching from the distant past into the present, from the ancient footsteps to the new ones, pressing forward across the endless plains. When the rainy season fades, the green mantle of the grasslands withers away. The searing sun scorches the ground. The blades of grass shrivel, no longer able to sustain an ocean of life. In that fragility, instinct compels the herds to move. But the Great Migration is more than just a quest for food. It is a symbol of unity among small, fragile creatures standing before nature's grandeur. Herd after herd, they converge into a colossal force, advancing like a roaring river. In their steps, life finds protection. The weak are shielded. The leaders carve the path for those who follow. And together, they become an unstoppable strength. Each pounding hoof resounds like nature's drum, lifting dust, stirring the air. The herds transform into a living wave, a majestic dance of survival. And within every stride, within every breathless gasp, lies a fierce contest with nature itself. A place where life and death march side by side, where hope and hardship weave together into a raw, mighty, and unyielding portrait upon one of Earth's harshest lands. The timing of the Great Migration across the African savanna follows no fixed schedule. It is a journey guided by the sky, the land, and pure instinct. The wildebeest do not count the days. They listen to the call of the wind, the rain, and the tender green shoots rising from the earth. The harsh, unpredictable climate of the African plains becomes the invisible hand that maps an endless route. An unceasing journey where life and hardship merge in nature's relentless dance. When the brief rains arrive between December and March, the Serengeti awakens. The first drops fall like liquid life, stirring the dry earth and summoning lush pastures bursting with vitality. According to the Tanzania Meteorological Authority, 2023, an average rainfall of 4 to 12 inches per month transforms the plains into a vast sea of green, a grand feast for millions of new mothers. The grasses of the Serengeti not only sustain life, but also form the foundation of a vast ecosystem. Species like Themata triandra and Penniceta mesianum flourish with the rains, becoming the lifeline of countless grazers. The Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute, 2023, confirms that the mild climate of 20 to 26 degrees Celsius and the lush grasslands create ideal conditions for reproduction, a miraculous cycle where life bursts forth in perfect rhythm with nature. At this time, Ndutu, the southern reaches of the Serengeti, comes alive, draped in an endless green mantle. This is the cradle of life, where hundreds of thousands of blue wildebeest gather. Standing 1.2 to 1.5 meters tall and weighing up to 290 kilograms, they transform the plains into a living ocean. Within weeks, more than 500,000 calves are born. It is both a magnificent and strategic event, predator swamping. With so many newborns at once, predators like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs cannot consume them all, forced to accept the overwhelming tide. Yet here, there is no room for delay. Just minutes after birth, calves weighing around 18 kilograms must stand. Within hours, they must run, an instinctive race for survival against the predator's claws. Nourished by their mother's rich milk, they grow quickly, reaching speeds of 40 to 50 kilometers per hour within weeks, nearly matching adults. The wildebeest, the backbone of the Great Migration, are never free from danger. Lions, hyenas, African wild dogs, and cheetahs stalk their every move. But they are not alone. The power of the herd is their greatest weapon. Thousands packed together, flowing like a living river, leaving predators struggling to single out a target. Adult males form a defensive wall, their sharp, curved horns guarding the fragile young. Zebras, too, converge on Ndutu. Although they can breed year-round, the rains give them a powerful advantage. Each adult, standing 1.2 meters tall and weighing 350 to 450 kilograms, moves in large groups, their hoofbeats pounding like an endless drum across the savanna. Masters of adaptation, they graze even on coarse, dry grasses that others leave behind, roaming dozens of kilometers in search of water. After 12 to 13 months of pregnancy, foals weighing about 32 kilograms are born. And within 20 to 30 minutes, they must stand and run with the herd. With powerful kicks and a strong sense of unity, zebras fight back under the leadership of a dominant stallion. During the rainy season, the Ndutu Plains also become a paradise for Thompson's gazelles. Small, just 60 to 70 centimeters tall, and weighing 20 to 35 kilograms, they possess extraordinary speed. With a short gestation of only 5 to 6 months, fawns weighing just 4 to 5 kilograms rely on camouflage, their pale brown coats blending into the grasses. Each day, the mother nurses her young once before leaving it motionless, hidden in the savanna. As adults, they can sprint up to 80 kilometers per hour, leaping into high starting jumps to warn off predators. In their migration, gazelles often trail behind the larger herds, taking advantage of leftover fresh shoots, minimizing competition and conserving energy. Small but far from weak, they are quick, vibrant notes in the grand symphony of survival, adding agility and brilliance to the magnificent canvas of the Great Migration. After the bustling birthing season in the early months of the year, when hundreds of thousands of calves take their first steps, the lush green pastures of southern Serengeti begin to fade. By April and May, the rains stop. The sun scorches the earth, and the fresh, tender grass disappears, replaced by a sea of brittle, withered stalks. Fields that once felt like paradise are now trampled under millions of pounding hooves of wildebeests, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles. The weight of an entire continent presses into the soil, etching its story into the history of this land. This is the threshold of one of nature's most brutal chapters, the Great Migration. Southern Serengeti, once the promised land, has turned barren, stripped of nourishment. But farther north, in Grumeti, Mara, and beyond, the grass is still green, and rivers still flow. And only that road north holds the promise of survival. The departure of the herds is never set to a calendar. It can begin any time from late April to early June, when the southern plains can no longer sustain their massive numbers. At that moment, an ancient instinct echoes like a command: go north. And so, the Great March begins. More than 1.5 million wildebeests, 300,000 gazelles, and 200,000 zebras move as one. Seen from above, they form endless lines stretching up to 25 miles, like a living river surging across the savannah, carrying the rhythm of life, death, and renewal. Each individual with a single purpose: to survive. The wildebeest, voracious grazers with stomachs that never rest, devour tons of grass each day. They cannot stop. According to a 2023 ecological study, during this stage of the migration, the herds move faster than at any other time of the year, covering 6 to 9 miles daily. It isn't a choice, it's survival, passed down through thousands of generations. As the southern and central Serengeti dry up, they must push forward before the dry season tightens its grip. To hesitate is to risk hunger, exhaustion, and death. The rains fade, leaving scattered streams and marshes along the western corridor. The herds follow these veins of water, their hooves drumming a relentless beat that shakes the earth. The savannah becomes a racetrack of life and death, where stamina and speed decide fate. The migration isn't a chaotic stampede. It's a finely tuned survival strategy. Moving in vast numbers creates a colossal living shield. Predators struggle to single out prey when faced with such overwhelming abundance. Yet as the journey stretches on, the megaherds fragment into smaller groups. Each one becomes a fortress of survival, lightening the pressure on grasslands while giving individuals a better chance at food. Over 750 miles, every step is a gamble on the knife's edge between life and death. As the herds near Grumeti, the tension mounts. The Serengeti turns into a battlefield. Lions and cheetahs, the apex assassins of the plains, strike with precision. Lions, masters of organized hunting, wait at choke points where weary animals falter. Lionesses lie hidden in tall grass, behind thickets, or atop uneven mounds, ambushing the moment the herd slows. A sudden leap, a deadly pounce. The outcome is swift. But the prey aren't defenseless. Zebras, with their keen eyesight, often act as sentinels. A 2023 Serengeti Institute study found that zebras can detect lions from nearly 1.5 miles away. When danger looms, they sound piercing alarms, sending shockwaves of panic through the herds. Thousands instantly shift formation, ready to bolt. Speed becomes the ultimate weapon. Zebras and wildebeests can hit 40 to 50 miles per hour, forcing lions to burn every ounce of strength. But lions can't maintain that pace for long. If the prey is fast enough or stubborn enough, they live. Sometimes they even fight back. A 500-pound wildebeest with 30-inch horns can gore a lion. A zebra's hind kick can shatter ribs or crush a predator's skull. Cheetahs, meanwhile, are nightmares for the smaller Thompson's gazelles. At 60 to 70 miles per hour, their short, blistering sprints leave little chance of escape. But gazelles are clever. They dart in zigzags, swerving unpredictably to throw off their pursuers. If they can hold out for just 20 or 30 seconds, the cheetah tires and gives up the chase. By May and June, the herds face one of their deadliest obstacles, the Grumeti River. It may not be as wide as the Mara, but it is no less lethal. On the far side lies green pasture and life, but in the murky depths lurks death, the Nile crocodile. Giants up to 20 feet long, with bone-crushing bites exceeding 3,700 psi, lie in wait. A single snap can drag down a full-grown zebra without a trace. When tens of thousands surge into the narrow waters, chaos erupts. White foam explodes. Terrified cries echo, and the river becomes a frenzy of panic. Some stumble and drown. Others are seized and pulled under by the prehistoric killers. Yet those who make it across earn their reward, the promise of grass, water, and survival. Scattered across the western corridor and the Koga-Tenda region, the air grows heavy with an unseen tension. The migration is no longer a solid wall of millions, but scattered into smaller, looser groups. And in that fragmentation, predators find their chance. The lions, the crownless kings of the savannah, wait for this moment. They exploit the fatigue and chaos of the mating season, when dominant males are drained from constantly defending their territories and mates. In these moments, power becomes a burden, and the very leaders of the pride turn into vulnerable targets for sudden ambush. Along the Grumeti River and in the rugged Singida region, lions turn the land itself into a weapon. Dense thickets, broken riverbanks, and sparse riverine woodland become natural fortresses. Lionesses lie hidden in silence, waiting for weary animals to step toward the water. Then, in an instant, they burst forth like lightning, locking prey in a deadly pounce. But lions aren't the only threat. In the shadows, another predator prowls. The leopard, a solitary assassin and master of stealth. Blending seamlessly into the Serengeti's patchy forests and tangled undergrowth, its rosettes vanish into the vegetation. A leopard can wait motionless for hours, poised for the moment a young zebra or a Thompson's gazelle strays too far. During the mating season, when dominant males are consumed with fighting for territory, herds scatter more easily than ever. With rippling muscles and unrivaled climbing skill, they maneuver through rugged terrain, then launch from a tree or burst from tall grass in a flash attack. It's all over in seconds, before the herd even realizes what happened. Data from 2024 shows leopards succeed in 50 to 60% of these surprise strikes, a chilling reminder of their deadly efficiency. And then, carried on the wind, comes the eerie laughter of hyenas. If lions are organized warriors and leopards are solitary killers, hyenas are opportunistic marauders with terrifying pack strategy. Their clans are highly structured, each member with a role to play. When the herds splinter, the young, weak, and isolated become easy targets. Hyenas aren't just hunters, they're expert thieves. They trail lions and leopards, waiting until the kill is made but not yet eaten, then swarm in to overwhelm and steal the prize. Unlike big cats, who rely on swift precision, hyenas wage wars of attrition, circling, chasing, and wearing prey down until it collapses in exhaustion. August to October, the migration enters its most brutal chapter. Kogatende in northern Serengeti and Kenya's Masai Mara become the epicenter. Every day, millions of wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles converge on a single, deadly obstacle: the Mara River. This raging river stretches for miles, a natural wall dividing life from death. On the far side lies Masai Mara, a lush 1,500 square kilometer paradise where rain-fed grasses beckon the herds. But to reach it, they must brave the killers that wait below. Giant Nile crocodiles, up to 20 feet long, with a bone-crushing bite of 3,700 psi, lurk beneath the muddy surface. Each year, when the herds pour in, the river erupts into a blood-soaked feast. Yet the crocodiles aren't the only danger. The river itself is unpredictable. In years of heavy rain, sudden flash floods can sweep away hundreds in minutes. In drier years, low water makes crossings easier, but exposes the herds to more crocodile attacks, as they are forced to use shallow, ambush-prone channels. A 2024 Serengeti Institute study revealed a deadly trade-off. In flood years, drowning pushes mortality up by 10 to 20%. In drought years, drowning drops, but crocodile kills surge. Every leap into the river is a gamble with death. From July through October, Mara crossings happen daily at multiple points. Sometimes only a few dozen animals take the plunge. Other times, as many as 10,000 surge into the water at once, shattering the river in an explosion of foam. Screams echo across the valley, hooves thunder against the current, and crocodiles strike from the depths. It is both magnificent and horrifying. A red ocean at the heart of the savannah. Strangely, the herds often change their minds in an instant. They may cross, only to turn back, as though the river exerts a hypnotic pull, forcing them to test the boundary between life and death again and again. And predators don't wait in the water alone. On the banks, lions and hyenas lie in ambush, ready to snatch the stragglers, the exhausted, the unlucky. The crossing is more than a physical test. It is total war, where every animal must stake its life just to move forward. Those that survive step onto the far bank, into the Masai Mara. This fertile land, an extension of the Serengeti, unfolds in rolling grasslands, river valleys, and scattered woodland. Heavy annual rainfall, 30 to 50 inches, sustains a rich ecosystem, home to more than 95 mammal species and 570 bird species. But Masai Mara is no safe haven. It is both paradise and battleground. The abundance of prey fuels a thriving predator population. The legendary Big Five, lion, leopard, elephant, buffalo, and rhinoceros, all roam here. And at the top of it all, the lions. In prides like the famed Marsh Pride, they dominate the land, exploiting the herd's arrival to feast. Small prey may fall to a single lioness, but larger quarry, buffalo, or even young elephants, demand a coordinated strike by the whole pride. Masai Mara thus becomes a stage for some of the most spectacular hunts on Earth, where entire prides hurl themselves at prey weighing tons, while thousands of wildebeests and zebras continue their endless march, knowing that tomorrow will bring another battle. As dusk settles over the grasslands, the Masai Mara sheds its skin. Honey gold fades to a deep indigo sea. This is when the lions take the throne. Their eyes, cold twin stars, slice through the dark. Hunting success soars when night becomes an ally. After days on the move, wildebeests and zebras are spent. One wrong turn, one ragged breath, and the herd's formation breaks. Lions aren't just hunters. They're the guardians of ecological order. When lion numbers rise, pressure on grazers rises with them. The grasslands aren't shaved to the root. They get time to recover and sprout anew. Paradoxically, a lion's fangs act like a comb that keeps the entire ecosystem smooth. A healthy mara depends on that balance. Plenty of prey, but never beyond what the plains can heal. At the woodland edge and along the riverbanks, leopards glide like ghosts, masters of absence. The less seen, the more they win. They live alone, quietly measuring distance, wind, and a prey's breathing. The mara's varied vegetation grants them 1,000 curtains, tall grass, thorny acacias, and brooding rock outcrops. A leopard's menu is a nimble symphony, rabbits and birds to impala and gazelles. They creep, then burst, finishing in a single beat. Night hunts ease daytime pressure on prey, and, indirectly, help pace the grass's recovery. With a success rate around 38%, leopards rank among the savanna's most efficient killers. Not as loud as lions, not as dazzling as cheetahs, but tireless, precise, never wasting a move. African savanna elephants are the bold ink strokes across the mara's page. Adult bulls stand 10 to 13 feet at the shoulder and weigh up to about 13,000 pounds. Females are lighter, but both carry memories as deep as a flood-swollen river. Ancestral trails, secret waterholes, grasslands reborn, passed down like living maps. Elephants are the architects of the savanna. They topple shrubs, opening skylights that let new grass surge. They dig for water in drought, leaving little wells for countless creatures to drink. They consume roughly 300 pounds of vegetation a day. Large, yes, but in return they rezone the habitat. Space for impalas, gazelles, and hares, corridors for small herds, and clear lanes for predator chases. Stand in the wind-swept Mara night, and you might feel the sky settle onto an elephant's broad back. Nature writing its stories in slow, steady steps. Buffalo are a manifesto by contrast. Curved horns, a helmet-thick boss, a moving fortress. Bulls weigh 1,000 to 2,000 pounds, stand 4 to 5 feet at the shoulder, and wear a steel-cold herd spirit across their brows. They travel in blocks of up to 500, a foe even lions must weigh carefully. In danger, the herd counterattacks, turning, opening a path, shielding calves. Field studies suggest lion success against large buffalo herds is only about 10 to 15%. Not because lions are weaker, but because buffalo solidarity turns individuals into lynx and the herd into a hammer. Within the Big Five, rhinos are the somber chapter that must be retold. In the Mara, black rhinos, smaller, wary, sometimes volatile, and white rhinos, larger, more common farther south. Both leave their prints on the grass. The black rhino, 1,800 to 3,000 pounds, with horns up to 5 feet, carries a cruel fate. The stronger it stands, the bigger the target it becomes. An estimated 30 to 40 black rhinos in the Mara is an alarm bell. Poaching and the black market turn a horn, just a body part, into the excuse for tragedy. And so, on moonless nights, patrol teams head out once more. Every step is a vow. Without rhinos, the Big Five is broken, and the Mara loses a piece of its soul. From July to October, the grasslands change their tone. The Great Migration pours over the Mara River like a storm of bone and flesh. Daily crossings erupt, sometimes a few dozen animals, sometimes 10,000, hurling themselves into the current. The banks drum like war. Below, Nile crocodiles hold their breath. Above, lions and hyenas crouch. It's brutal, and yet it renews the system. Mass grazing kickstarts fresh growth. Pounding hooves spread seed and till the soil. Dung enriches it all, drawing insects and birds, which in turn feeds smaller predators. The food web hums, every grain of sand earning its place. In November and December, the short rains return to southern Serengeti. Grass that had cracked and browned springs back as if plugged into a socket. That's the signal. The herds leave the Mara, flowing back toward Ndutu. Short grass plains are the nursery, open ground, clear sight lines, predators kept at bay. The circle closes and opens again. New calves will be born, and another chapter of migration will rise. But the southbound leg is no lullaby. After long months, the herds are tired, and the land lays new traps, pans, marshes, forest fringes. Lions, hyenas, cheetahs, leopards, wild dogs, each with its own rhythm and method. Grazers answer with formations, calves and weak animals in the middle, strong bodies on the rim, a moving wall of life. Sometimes, a single zebra alarm call pivots thousands of lives. One sharp turn, and they slip the jaws of death. The Mara and Serengeti face more than claws and teeth. The climate changes its pitch. Rains arrive late or linger oddly. Sudden droughts, flash floods. The Grumeti and the Mara, the savanna's arteries, swell and shrink, forcing longer, faster journeys. Deaths from exhaustion climb. River trials grow unpredictable. In flood years, more drown. In lean years, crocodiles vanish into the shallows and ambush risk spikes. Then there are roads, bridges, and lodges, the man-made cuts across ancient corridors. Every new road can be a life and death line for migrants. Overcrowded safari convoys press and hem in crossing points, panicking herds into chaotic reroutes. The wounds aren't only in the numbers. They show up in behavior, more hesitation, faster fragmentation, and prey weakened by the very disorder predators exploit. Even so, the savanna is not a story of despair. The Western Corridor, buffer zones, habitat restoration projects, water management plans, vehicle limits, and responsible ecotourism. Piece by piece, a new shield is forming. Local community leadership, initiatives like UNTRI and AWF's environmental education programs are needles stitching the tear. To keep the migration's epic alive, we need more than laws and patrols. We need storytellers, travelers who respect distance, filmmakers who know when to cut the camera, audiences willing to listen to hoofbeats echoing through the screen, the call of a planet that still wants to stay green. On a windless night in the Mara, you can hear the plains breathe. Lions prowl. Leopards vanish without a sound. An elephant snaps an acacia branch. A buffalo stamps the earth. Far off, a rhino slips through the shade. At the center of it all, the migration. A river of flesh and bone, following the rain, going and returning, loss and renewal. Wildlife does not promise safety. It promises meaning. And the Masai Mara is where that meaning is written. In shadow, speed, and endurance. In southwestern Kenya, right along the border with Tanzania, the Masai Mara stretches like an immense carpet of 1,500 square kilometers. Its name, Mara, comes from the Ma language of the Maasai people, meaning spotted, a reference to the dark green acacia groves and drifting clouds casting shadows across the golden plains, creating a layered, textured landscape. From above, the Mara resembles a vast tapestry woven from grass, clouds, forest, and sunlight. But it is more than a painting. It is a living organism. Every blade of grass, every waterhole, every river contributes to a symphony where life and death collide, forming the heartbeat of the savanna. Lions, rulers of the dark. When sunset falls, the Masai Mara changes tempo. The plains pause for a breath, then awaken with a roar. This is the lion's hour. By day, the scorching heat keeps them sprawled in the shade of acacias. But by night, the star-filled sky and pitch-black earth become their kingdom. Their eyes glow like burning coals, piercing the dark. At this time, their hunting success soars. Exhausted wildebeests and zebras, weakened after long journeys, become easy prey. Lions are not just killers, they are regulators. By controlling herbivore numbers, they prevent the grasslands from being stripped bare. Paradoxically, their fangs are instruments of preservation. When a zebra falls, the grass and dozens of other species are saved. Leopards, silent artists. If lions are the rulers of power, leopards are the artists of silence. Solitary by nature, they move like shadows between trees and grass. Their golden-spotted coats blend seamlessly into the sun-scorched plains, turning them into living phantoms. Leopards choose a different path. No fanfare, no spectacle. Just a sudden spring, one decisive strike. Their diet is versatile, ranging from hares and birds to impalas and gazelles. In the Mara, the leopard's elegance and secrecy remind us that strength isn't always the key. Sometimes silence is the ultimate weapon. A 2023 study found leopards in the Mara succeed in 38% of hunts, a figure higher than many other predators. For leopards, the secret is timing, precision, and never wasting energy. Elephants, the living memory of the savanna. Amid the drama of the big cats, African elephants appear as wise giants. Adult males weigh up to 13,000 pounds and stand more than 10 feet at the shoulder, with sweeping ivory tusks. They move in matriarchal herds.
Welcome to the frozen kingdom of Siberia, where legends are carved in claws and the mysteries of the hunters remain buried deep within the eternal storm. Siberia covers an area of about 13.1 million square kilometers, larger than the entire continent of Europe, and remains one of the vastest and least explored regions on Earth. Located within the subarctic zone, where winter stretches endlessly and snow blankets the land year-round, Siberia is often described as a wild kingdom home to an incredibly rich and diverse ecosystem. Occupying roughly 10% of the Earth's land surface, Siberia is dominated by two major ecosystems, the taiga forest and the frozen tundra plains. The Siberian taiga is the largest coniferous forest on the planet, stretching from the Ural Mountains in the west all the way to the Pacific Ocean in the east. It is a land abundant in natural resources, filled with trees such as Siberian pine, spruce, and cedar, each uniquely adapted to the region's extreme cold. During the harsh winter, temperatures in the taiga can plunge to 50 degrees Celsius, with averages ranging between 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. Summer is brief, reaching only 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, offering a fleeting moment for plants to grow and thrive. But the taiga is more than just a forest. It is home to a multitude of wild creatures, including the Siberian tiger, gray wolf, lynx, wolverine, and brown bear. In addition, countless migratory birds arrive during the short summer, taking advantage of the rare warmth to nest and raise their young in this breathtaking yet unforgiving land of ice and survival. Siberia, the world of ice, snow, and cold light. A land so vast it seems endless, where northern winds roar across the boundless tundra and the ancient taiga forests, a place where time itself seems to freeze in the breath of an eternal winter. Here, amid the brutal cold and infinite silence, life still endures, resilient, unyielding, and more extraordinary than anywhere else on Earth. This is the homeland of legendary creatures, the mighty Siberian tiger, moving like a shadow through snow-covered pines, and vast herds of reindeer crossing endless white plains in search of food. Yet no creature symbolizes nature's strength and perfect adaptation more than the polar bear, the ruler of the Arctic, the solitary warrior of the frozen seas. Even its name evokes a sense of harshness, a realm where oceans freeze solid, where blizzards scream without end, and where life must fight for every hour of existence. Born in the heart of a frozen ocean, the polar bear is the embodiment of evolutionary perfection. Its double-layered fur is a masterpiece of biology. A dense, soft undercoat that traps warmth, and an outer layer up to 15 centimeters long, reflective and water-repellent, creating an insulating layer of air that keeps its body warm, even in sub-zero temperatures. Beneath that fur lies a 10 centimeter thick layer of fat, a natural armor that provides buoyancy, insulation, and protection. Thanks to this, polar bears can swim over 100 kilometers, sometimes for 9-10 days without rest, crossing 400 kilometers of icy waves, from one drifting iceberg to another in search of prey. Their paws, up to 30 centimeters wide, allow them to move confidently across deep snow and serve as powerful paddles in the water. Every stroke is a rhythm of power and grace, a testament to nature's ultimate design for survival in a frozen world. 1 minute of a seal's guard down and the polar bear will be returned to God. Their main prey is the seal, especially ringed and bearded seals. A single adult seal provides over 55,000 calories, enough to sustain a polar bear for days in this harsh, energy-demanding environment. Polar bears are masters of patience and precision. They can detect the scent of a seal from 1.6 kilometers away and sense movement beneath a meter of solid ice. They wait motionless for hours, watching for the moment when their prey surfaces to breathe. And when it comes, a single strike with a force of 4,500 to 5,000 newtons is enough to end the hunt instantly. Clean, swift, and deadly. As winter tightens its grip, the mother bear seeks refuge in an ice den. There, in the silent darkness, she hibernates, conceives, and gives birth. When spring returns and sunlight pierces the entrance, her tiny cubs take their first steps into the blinding white world. For the next 2 to 3 years, the mother teaches them everything: how to move across snow, how to hunt, how to wait, and how to read every whisper of wind, water, and ice. It is a sacred passage of survival where wisdom, not strength, ensures life. With its white fur, raw power, and flawless adaptation, the polar bear stands as a living monument to nature's resilience, a survival machine shaped by hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. Yet the Arctic is not ruled by predators alone. To preserve the fragile balance of this frozen realm, nature forged another symbol of endurance: the Siberian reindeer. Thousands move together in slow, steady migrations, crossing snow-laden pine forests and the frozen tundra. Searching for the faintest patches of grass hidden beneath the snow. They can withstand temperatures as low as 50 degrees Celsius. Thanks to their 2-layered fur, a tough, windproof outer coat, and a soft underlayer of hollow hairs that trap heat. Each hair functions like a natural thermal tube, maintaining body temperature even in raging blizzards. Their broad, flexible hooves prevent them from sinking into snow, and as winter deepens, their hooves harden, allowing them to dig through snow to find lichen and moss, the only food in this white wasteland. The reindeer are the heartbeat of the frozen plains, the lifeblood of countless other creatures. They forge paths through the snow, leaving trails that birds, foxes, and wolves follow to survive. The wolves rushed like arrows, but the reindeer ran in panic, because they knew if they were late, they would get a ticket back to God. Amid silver light and cutting winds, Siberia emerges as a world both brutal and magnificent, a natural stage where every creature, great or small, plays its part in an eternal symphony of survival. In a land where death lurks at every turn, life burns brighter than ever, for it is in adversity that nature creates its greatest masterpieces. The true wonder of the Siberian reindeer lies within each strand of its fur. What seems like simple hair is, in fact, a masterpiece of evolution engineered for one purpose only: to help it survive and move through an endless world of ice and snow. Each hair is hollow, like a tiny air-filled tube. This unique structure traps cold air inside, creating an extraordinary layer of insulation that prevents heat loss in sub-zero temperatures. At the same time, it makes the reindeer's massive body much lighter than it appears, allowing it to move effortlessly across deep snow, as if gliding over a soft white carpet. Light, steady, and graceful. This adaptation has allowed reindeer to survive tens of thousands of years of glacial winters and become the only large mammal capable of migrating thousands of kilometers across the frozen tundra without exhaustion. Beyond their fur, the reindeer's hooves are among nature's most remarkable tools of survival. Their flexible, shape-shifting design allows them to adapt to any terrain, a near supernatural ability perfected through millennia of evolution. When moving across soft snow, the hooves spread wide, increasing surface contact and preventing them from sinking, like wearing built-in snowshoes. This lets entire herds move rhythmically, one step after another, across snow several meters deep while maintaining a steady pace. In contrast, when traveling over hard ice or slippery rock, the hooves contract, becoming sharp and blade-like. This gives the reindeer a firm grip, preventing slips and falls. Their crescent-shaped edges allow them to stand firm, climb slopes, and cross glaciers without slowing down. Another subtle but ingenious detail. During winter, the pads beneath their hooves shrink, preventing the heel from touching the freezing ground. This minimizes heat loss through their feet, allowing them to stand, walk, or even sleep on ice for hours without frostbite. When summer returns, the pads expand again, forming a soft cushion that provides traction on muddy terrain, a flawless demonstration of natural adaptability rarely seen in the animal kingdom. With swift legs, strong muscles, and a body built for endurance, the Siberian reindeer stands as a symbol of northern resilience. Each year, it travels over 5,000 kilometers, the longest land migration of any mammal on Earth. From the dense taiga forests to the barren tundra plains, across glaciers, swamps, and permafrost, herds move in rhythm with an ancient instinct. A song of survival written deep in their DNA thousands of years ago. In spring, they migrate north, following the melting ice and the first sprouts of new grass. In autumn, they journey south again, racing against the first snowstorms. Though their path stretches for thousands of kilometers, they always return to the same places, the same seasons, as if guided by the silent heartbeat of the earth itself. From afar, thousands of reindeer flow across the white tundra, each step drawing living patterns on the frozen canvas. It is more than a migration. It is a symphony of life in a world ruled by ice. In a land where death can come at any moment, the reindeer marches on, steady, silent, and proud. Because more than any other creature, it knows that life is not luck, it is courage. When autumn arrives, the sun sinks low along the horizon and northern winds carry the first chill of winter. The Great Migration begins. Hundreds of thousands move together. A living river flowing across a white wilderness. One of the most breathtaking and emotional spectacles in the natural world. They travel without rest, 20 to 50 kilometers a day. Each step in rhythm like an ancient song. Not one is left behind, for in this journey, their greatest strength lies in unity. As winter tightens its icy grip on Siberia, food across the tundra grows scarce. The herds turn southward, seeking the shelter of the taiga forests, where the cold is less brutal and patches of green moss hide beneath the snow. Precious energy that sustains them through the darkest months of the year. A single herd can number up to 100,000 individuals, a sea of life in motion. each step carving paths of survival across the frozen desert. Yet migration is not merely a search for food. It is the circulatory system of nature, a grand design through which life renews itself. As the herds move, they carry nutrients in their droppings and shed fur, enriching the soil, nurturing new growth, and enabling countless other species to survive. They are nature's couriers of life, each step sowing the seeds of renewal. To survive the merciless months of winter, reindeer have evolved into masters of adaptation. While many herbivores are stopped by thick snow, reindeer use their sharp hooves like shovels, digging deep to uncover moss and lichen, their only food in the frozen wilderness. Their hooves transform with the terrain. On soft snow, they spread wide like natural snowshoes, allowing them to move gracefully without sinking. On hard ice, the hooves contract, their edges harden like blades, gripping the slick surface so they can cross glaciers without slipping. Beneath the hooves, the pads expand and contract with the seasons, shrinking in winter to preserve warmth, expanding in summer for traction on soil and rock. It is a perfect self-adjusting system, allowing them to stand firm, dig, and travel endlessly across all terrain. Each migration is a trial, a test of endurance and time. Yet through this hardship shines the reindeer's quiet heroism. They march through blizzards, cross glaciers and rivers, climb ridges, and never stop moving. Their eyes reflect the faint Arctic sun. Their hooves stir up a mist of frost, and their breath joins the wind. A symphony of life echoing through the white silence. Their antlers tell another story of wonder. They grow at a rate of 2.5 centimeters per day, faster than any other antlered animal on Earth. In males, they can reach 130 centimeters long and weigh up to 15 kilograms. A natural sculpture forged from bone, blood, and time. In autumn, when the mating season begins, the males clash in fierce duels for dominance. The sound of antlers colliding rings out across the tundra, a thunderous melody of strength, instinct, and pride. The victors earn the right to mate, ensuring that only the strongest and most adaptable pass their lineage to the next generation. When spring returns and the ice begins to melt, the females, separate from the herd, seeking sheltered places to give birth. Their newborn calves, fragile yet full of life, stand on their feet within minutes. For in this frozen world, even a moment's weakness can mean death. The wind keeps blowing, snow keeps falling, and the reindeer continue their timeless journey. Year after year, generation after generation, they move onward, an unending current of life flowing through the stillness of ice. Beneath the silver light and the dim shadows of the Arctic, the Siberian reindeer marches on, silent yet steadfast. They need no applause, no witness, for their very existence is already a miracle of nature. In a land where life seems impossible, they prove that true strength is not in ferocity, but in endurance. And across the boundless snows of Siberia, they continue their journey, the eternal breath of the North. But where there is prey, there are predators. And in this realm of snow and wind, the Siberian gray wolf reigns supreme. An unseen king of the frozen plains, silent and terrifying. The wolf, a symbol of intelligence, unity, and primal strength. It seeks no glory, no spotlight, only the echo of its howl in the night. Enough to make even the snow tremble. With a dense, two-layered coat, the wolf is built for survival at 50 degrees Celsius. The outer layer is long, coarse, and water-resistant, while the inner layer is soft, thick, and traps warmth like a living blanket. When summer arrives, it sheds its fur to cool down. And when winter returns, it dons again the silver-gray mantle of the blizzard. The Siberian wolf is a master of strategy and coordination. They do not simply hunt, they calculate. A pack may number from 10 to 20 members, operating like a perfectly trained army. Each wolf has a role, the leader's signal. The strongest strike head-on. The faster ones flank the sides, surrounding and confusing their prey before launching a synchronized attack. It all unfolds in minutes, swift, decisive, and flawlessly executed, as if choreographed by instinct itself. When the prey collapses, snow bursts into the air. The wind carries the breath of life away, and the circle of survival closes once more in silence. A Siberian wolf's bite force reaches 500 psi, strong enough to crush the bones of a full-grown reindeer. Weighing only 40 kilograms, it can bring down prey 10 times its size. Hunting in packs, their success rate reaches 30%, an exceptional figure in the wild. They hunt by sight, by scent, by sound. When one howls, the rest answer, their voices merging into a haunting symphony of instinct and precision. But what makes the wolf truly great is not its strength, it is its endurance and resolve. They can run 40 kilometers a day, and when needed, reach 60 kilometers per hour in pursuit. Some packs have been observed chasing migrating reindeer for over 100 kilometers through deep snow, against the wind, under freezing skies. When food is scarce, they can go 2 weeks without eating, yet keep moving, never giving up. In this merciless world, survival is not merely instinct, it is an art. And yet, the wolf is not the only ruler of Siberia. In the dense taiga forests and snow-capped mountains, another giant reigns in silence, the Siberian brown bear. Unlike the wolf's speed and coordination, the bear relies on raw power and patience. It is a solitary warrior, massive, muscular, and instinctively skilled. Its double-layered fur is both soft and resilient. The outer coat repels water, while the inner traps warmth perfectly. Beneath it lies a thick layer of fat, up to 40% of its body weight, a vital energy reserve for months of hibernation during the long, frozen winter. In summer, when the taiga blooms, the brown bear becomes a voracious forager, eating roots, berries, honey, fish, and even carrion. It can consume twice its body weight in a single day, storing fat for the harsh sleep ahead. Despite its size, a brown bear can run up to 56 kilometers per hour. And a single paw strike with over 600 kilograms of force can kill a full-grown deer instantly. They are patient hunters, standing motionless by rivers for hours, waiting for the precise moment to snatch a salmon. During spawning season, one bear can catch 30 fish a day, a feast before its winter slumber. In the frozen wilderness of Siberia, The brown bear stands as a symbol of strength, intelligence, and endurance, a creature that has conquered the limits of survival itself. Its sense of smell is 2,000 times stronger than that of a human, allowing it to detect food or carrion from as far as 32 kilometers away. When the wind sweeps through the taiga, carrying the faintest trace of life, the brown bear can follow that scent for days. For in a world where hunger is constant, a single smell can mean the difference between life and death. The bear takes every opportunity it can find. A leftover bone, a wounded animal, or the remains abandoned by another predator, all become precious sources of life. With its powerful muscles, immense stamina, and unmatched ability to store energy, the Siberian brown bear has become a master of survival in this frozen inferno. In the final months of summer, it enters a feeding frenzy, consuming up to 20,000 calories a day, or about 30 kilograms of food, from salmon and berries to small animals it can catch. In just a few short months, it may gain as much as 180 kilograms, storing vital fat reserves for the long winter ahead. A winter without light, without birdsong, and without warmth. Then, when snow blankets the earth and silence falls over the forest, the bear retreats into its den and begins a hibernation lasting 5 to 7 months. During this time, its body temperature drops by 37 degrees Celsius, and its heart slows to just a few beats per minute. Its body enters near stasis, yet never decays. Every cell, every organ continues to function, as if nature itself is holding its breath, waiting for rebirth. Without eating or drinking, the bear survives through the perfection of biological design shaped by evolution. Its body is a self-sustaining machine, crafted to endure, adapt, and regenerate. From energy storage to muscle preservation during hibernation, every detail speaks of life's astonishing intelligence. If the brown bear survives through stillness, then on the other side of this icy kingdom, the Siberian tiger reigns through power and dominance. The largest tiger on Earth, it can reach over 3 meters in length and weigh up to 400 kilograms. With shoulders of iron and muscles forged by cold, it can kill a full-grown red deer with a single strike. Its fur is a masterpiece of adaptation. A dense, warm undercoat beneath pale, striped outer fur that blends perfectly with snow. So well that even a reindeer's sharp eyes may not see it until it is only meters away. Unlike the wolves that hunt in packs, the Siberian tiger is a solitary hunter, moving in silence through misty taiga forests. Every step calculated, every gaze a silent sentence of death. It can stalk prey for hours, even days, hidden behind snow-covered trees, and then explode into action at 80 kilometers per hour. Its strike delivering a force of 5,000 newtons, enough to snap a spine in an instant. But the tiger is more than a killer. It is a keeper of balance. By hunting deer, elk, and wild boar, it prevents overgrazing, allowing plants to regrow and forests to rejuvenate. According to WWF research, areas inhabited by the Siberian tiger show twice the biodiversity. A sign that life flourishes wherever this great predator walks. Thus, The Siberian tiger is not only a symbol of strength, but also a living ecological indicator, a measure of the taiga's health itself. Under the white winter sky of Siberia, amid taiga forests stretching into eternity, a massive silhouette slowly emerges so naturally a part of the landscape that it seems carved from the wilderness itself. It is the Siberian moose, the largest deer on Earth, and one of the most remarkably adapted creatures to survive in one of the harshest, coldest regions of the planet. In a land where winter lasts half a year and the sun barely glimmers through dense clouds, their very existence is proof of nature's unbreakable resilience. Standing up to 2 meters tall at the shoulder, weighing more than half a ton, and carrying antlers as wide as ancient branches, the moose appears like a silent monarch of the taiga. Yet its enormous size hides surprising grace. It moves lightly through snow-covered forests, weaving between trees with almost no sound. Its wide hooves can spread out like natural snowshoes, allowing it to cross deep snow that few animals could navigate so effortlessly. The moose's body is the product of thousands of years of evolution under brutal cold. Its double-layered coat, soft and dense underneath, coarse and long on the outside, forms a perfect thermal shield, protecting it from winds cold enough to freeze an entire forest in hours. Its digestive system is uniquely designed to process food most animals cannot eat: birch bark, willow branches, and pine shoots buried beneath snow. When Siberian winter tightens its icy grip, when food becomes scarce and temperatures plunge below 40 degrees Celsius, the moose endures. It travels dozens of kilometers each day, searching for low shrubs or willow thickets still hidden beneath the snow. This ability to survive on tough, woody vegetation allows it to withstand the endless, exhausting months of winter without succumbing to hunger. As autumn arrives, the taiga transforms. Golden and crimson leaves create a fiery contrast against the chilling air. This is the moment the bull moose enters its defining season. The rut. Their deep roars echo through the forest, a powerful declaration of dominance. Battles erupt as males clash antler against antler, their strikes ringing like thunder across the frozen ground. Each blow can bend saplings and scatter snow, yet most fights end without fatality. They are contests of strength, not destruction. When early spring melts the snow and brings back a hint of warmth, a newborn calf enters the world. Within minutes, it must stand. Within an hour, it must run. In this unforgiving land, hesitation is death. The calf quickly learns to follow its mother through deep snow, avoiding predators like wolves and brown bears, always searching for the weak and the slow. Despite their strength and remarkable adaptations, Siberian moose now face threats unlike anything evolution prepared them for. Human expansion into the taiga is shrinking their habitat. New roads, logging operations, and mining sites carve the once continuous forest into fragmented patches, disrupting ancient migration paths. Climate change alters winter's behavior, affecting food availability and breeding cycles. Yet even amid these challenges, the moose remains a symbol of resilience, a majestic presence in a land still ruled by nature. They remind us that the fragile balance of Siberia's ecosystem depends on every creature, every forest, every frozen river. And if we fail to protect them, the deep echoing calls of the taiga in autumn, the haunting roars of the Siberian moose, may one day fade into eternal silence. Under the pale winter sun of Siberia, as sharp winds sweep across the barren steppe like they're trying to tear life from the land, A heavy, resonant sound rises, merging with the frozen breath of the earth. It is the footsteps of the Siberian bison, a creature that carries within its body the power of the Ice Age itself, a symbol of endurance, resilience, and unshaken pride in this unforgiving world. No other animal on the northern Siberian plains possesses such a fierce yet majestic presence. With slow, deliberate steps and muscles rippling beneath a thick winter coat, the bison moves like a living boulder, silent, steady, and utterly unstoppable. A full-grown bison can weigh up to 1 ton, stand nearly 2 meters tall, and carry a massive shoulder hump like a small hill. The dense woolly fur around its neck and shoulders forms a natural suit of armor, insulating it even when the cold is harsh enough to make metal brittle. This thickness doesn't just shield it from the cold, it protects against wolf bites, bear strikes, and blizzard winds that stab like 1,000 icy needles. But in Siberia, strength alone is never enough. The bison's body is engineered for survival. Its neck muscles are extraordinarily powerful, allowing it to use its head like a shovel to sweep aside deep layers of snow and uncover the last scraps of dry grass beneath. Each day, a bison can clear dozens of square meters of frozen ground, a simple yet vital survival strategy in winters that last for months. Siberian bison live in herds, and the bond between individuals is one of the most remarkable behaviors in the animal kingdom. When the herd moves, it becomes a single, unified mass strong animals, taking the outer edges to block the wind, while calves and weaker members stay protected in the center. In a blinding snowstorm, a herd of bison moves like a massive machine, each individual functioning like a cog in an unbreakable system. Their heavy footsteps carve deep trails through the snow pathways that deer, lynx, and foxes often rely on to survive. But danger always lurks on the Siberian steppe. The Siberian gray wolf, the region's most relentless predator, often trails bison herds for days. They don't rush in, they wait. They stay downwind to hide their scent, watching carefully for the old, the injured, or newborn calves. Yet bison are far from easy prey. A single charge from an adult bison can throw a full-grown wolf several meters across the ground. Sometimes, just one thunderous stomp is enough to warn an entire wolf pack to keep their distance. When spring arrives and the ice begins to melt, the earth softens and new shoots of grass emerge. The bison rejuvenate after the exhausting winter. Pregnant females leave the herd briefly to find a quiet, safe place to give birth. A newborn calf takes its first breath in the icy air, fragile and trembling. But within minutes it rises. Within an hour, it must run. There is no room for hesitation. Wolves are always watching, and every weak creature becomes a target. Growing up is a constant battle. Young bison must learn how to find food beneath snow, how to read the wind to sense predators, and how to blend into the herd for protection. As they mature, they must also endure blizzards that darken the sky, the mud of spring melt, and the strange new heat waves brought by climate change. Today, bison no longer roam across all of Siberia as they once did. The ancient grasslands that belonged to them are disappearing under human activity. Logging, mining, new roads, and infrastructure have divided their habitat into isolated fragments. Climate change disrupts Siberia's natural rhythm, making food unpredictable and altering traditional migration routes. Many herds are now forced to move closer to human settlements, increasing conflict between people and bison. And yet, despite all these changes, the Siberian bison continues to walk with the same quiet pride it carried through the Ice Age. A herd of bison crossing a white horizon reminds us that some creatures survive not through speed or ferocity, but through sheer, unshakable endurance. They are the thundering heartbeat of the Siberian plains, the living echo of a prehistoric world still standing in the present. Moose, wolves, Siberian tigers, brown bears, and now the mighty bison. Together, they form the majestic tapestry of this wild land. And the fate of each species depends on what we choose to do today, as the boundary between nature and humanity grows thinner than ever. For if the bison were to disappear from the Siberian steppe, a piece of the land's very soul would vanish with them. Beneath the thick ice of Lake Baikal, a colossal natural mirror carved into the heart of Siberia, the world becomes so silent you can hear the ice cracking from deep within the water, hidden under that frozen surface, where sunlight is squeezed into faint, ghostly blue rays. A round, shadow-like creature glides softly through the cold. It is the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal on Earth. A remarkable evolutionary miracle, living inside one of the oldest, most ancient environments on the planet. In these deep waters, where temperatures rarely rise above freezing, the Baikal seal has survived for millions of years, enduring shifting climates, advancing glaciers, and countless natural changes. They do not leave the lake, do not migrate to the sea, and never expand their range. Instead, they remain bound to Baikal, as though the lake itself were their destiny, written by nature since the dawn of time. Their bodies carry the marks of perfect adaptation. Smaller than northern sea seals, yet far more agile, Baikal seals are built to thrive in icy freshwater. A thick layer of blubber keeps their bodies warm in near-freezing water, while their short, smooth fur reduces friction and prevents heat loss when they surface on the ice. Their eyes, large, round, and jet black, are masterfully designed for the dim, blue-lit world of Baikal's depths, where sunlight fades into darkness more than 1,000 meters below. Baikal seals can dive to 300 meters, though the lake itself plunges to over 1,600 meters, a mysterious abyss where only the most ancient and unusual creatures dwell. The depths they frequent are a tranquil realm, where light dissolves into soft blue shadows, and silence becomes absolute. Here, they hunt schools of goby fish, small, endemic species essential to Baikal's food chain. In winter, Lake Baikal freezes completely. The ice can reach 1-2 meters thick, so clear that you can peer through it into the dark sapphire below. During this time, seals must maintain breathing holes polynyas by surfacing regularly and clawing at the ice. If they fail to maintain these openings, they risk being trapped beneath the frozen ceiling, unable to breathe. This ritual, passed down through thousands of generations, is one of the defining behaviors of their survival. When breeding season arrives in late winter, females seek out the thickest, most stable ice far from shore and far from land predators. They dig small snow caves, warm and sheltered, forming natural birthing chambers. A newborn pup arrives, wrapped in soft snow-white fur, allowing it to blend perfectly into the icy landscape. In its first days, it depends entirely on its mother for warmth, for fatty milk, and for protection from predators like golden eagles and Arctic foxes. But the safety of the ice den is fleeting. Within weeks, the pup sheds its white coat and grows a gray one, a sign that it must begin adapting to the harsher world outside. Its mother teaches it to swim, dive, maintain breathing holes, and hide from predators' lessons that determine whether it will survive under Baikal's thick winter ice. On land, Baikal seals appear slow and awkward, but once they slip beneath the water, they transform into graceful dancers using all 4 flippers to steer, spiral, and shoot through the depths like silver arrows. Every movement blends with the rhythm of Baikal fluid, precise and beautifully smooth. Yet, like all creatures of Siberia, Baikal seals now face the growing shadow of climate change. Ice melts earlier, threatening their ability to build birthing dens. Thinner ice means pups are more easily discovered by predators. Pollution and industrial activity around the lake alter the water's clarity and threaten the goby fish population, the foundation of Baikal's ecosystem. Studies warn that if warming continues, the Baikal seal population could decline dramatically in the coming decades. The icy birthing chambers that once ensured survival may vanish entirely by late winter, forcing seals to give birth on fragile ice that can break a near-certain catastrophe. And yet, amidst all the danger, Baikal still produces moments of wonder. On the coldest days of winter, when the ice shines like crystal and the landscape looks like another world, a seal surfaces through a tiny hole, its huge dark eyes studying the frozen expanse with gentle curiosity. No creature feels as mysterious, serene, and ancient as the Baikal seal. They seem like the very spirit of the lake-living relics of the Ice Age, reminding us that life can flourish even in places ruled by silence and ice. The Baikal seal does not roar like the Siberian tiger, does not thunder across the steppe like the bison, does not battle fiercely like the wolf or the bear, yet it survives quietly, gracefully, steadfastly. And in that quiet endurance lies its wonder. One of the most extraordinary animals in Siberia, a symbol of life's miraculous persistence in a world of eternal ice. Across the vast snowy plains of Siberia, where the wind scrapes the earth and the winter sun glows like a distant ember. A small but proud figure moves quietly through the frozen wilderness. It is the Siberian fox, also known as the red fox, a creature small in size yet armed with some of the most sophisticated survival abilities in the Arctic world. While many large animals rely on strength or numbers, the fox depends on something else: intelligence, agility, and an almost supernatural power of adaptation. In winter, when everything around them is buried beneath deep snow, the Siberian fox blends into the scenery with its reddish coat streaked with white along the belly. But its beauty is more than surface deep. That fur is a shield, layered thickly to trap heat even when the temperature plunges to 40 degrees Celsius. Its long, fluffy tail helps keep balance while running on ice. And at night, the fox curls it over its face like a warm scarf against the wind. The Siberian fox is a master hunter of the snowy silence. It uses its large, upright ears to detect the faintest movements beneath the snow where voles, hares, and other small creatures hide from predators. In moments so quiet you can hear wind brushing through branches, the fox freezes, head tilted slightly, ears rotating with delicate precision. Then, like an arrow loosed from a bow, it leaps upward and dives headfirst into the snow. A perfect strike, crafted by thousands of years of evolution. Within seconds, it reappears with its prey, a flawless demonstration of instinct and skill. The brutal Siberian winter forces foxes to become creatures of versatility. They don't just hunt, they scavenge, forage, and exploit every resource available: frozen carcasses, leftover berries, even scraps left unintentionally by humans. This flexible diet allows them to survive in territories where larger predators struggle to adapt. When spring arrives and the snow recedes, revealing the muted browns and grays of the Siberian steppe, foxes enter their breeding season. The female finds a deep underground den to shelter her young. The kits are born tiny, eyes closed, wrapped in pale gray fur. For weeks, the mother rarely leaves the den, keeping her pups warm and safe from predators. The male brings food back, patiently tending to his family with an instinctive devotion. When the pups finally open their eyes, the world is nothing but weak light and whispering wind. They stumble outside the den, playing clumsily between patches of melting snow and damp earth. They learn to stalk, leap, listen, their bright eyes, twitching noses, and endless curiosity already reflecting the clever spirit of their kind. During Siberia's brief summer, when plants turn green and birds return to nest, foxes take advantage of the abundance, stocking up on nutrition for the next winter. But summer also brings danger. Golden eagles, lynx, and even wolves all hunt young foxes. In this harsh world, foxes rarely choose direct confrontation. They run, hide, and rely on intelligence, a low-cost, high-success strategy in the wild. Today, the Siberian fox remains one of the region's most widespread animals. Their agility and adaptability make them among the best survivors as climate change reshapes Siberia's ecosystems. As ice melts, forests burn, and food sources shift, foxes continue to find new ways to endure. They slip into villages, explore abandoned areas, and forage in places their ancestors never imagined. In a world where giants like bison, tigers, and bears struggle to adapt, the fox thrives through cunning and flexibility. It is not the strongest nor the fastest, but it is always the one that chooses the right moment, the right place, and the right way to survive. And that is the true beauty of the Siberian fox. A small creature, yet a symbol of ingenuity, intelligence, and extraordinary resilience in one of the harshest landscapes on Earth. Along the sheer cliffs of the majestic Sayan and Altai Mountains, where Siberia rises into colossal walls of stone to shield itself from the northern winds, a quiet yet steadfast creature clings to life in this unforgiving world. Not as massive as the bison, not as swift as the fox, nor as powerful as the snow leopard, the Siberian goral nonetheless possesses a survival ability so extraordinary that even the mightiest animals of this land must respect it. In a world where earth and sky blurred together beneath snow and ice, the goral lives where almost no other creature dares to set foot. Vertical cliffs, slopes nearly straight down, razor-thin ledges only a few centimeters wide, where a single slip could send it plunging hundreds of meters. And yet this is precisely the place it calls home. The Siberian goral is small, standing less than 1 meter tall, but every part of its body is engineered for survival in these brutal mountains. Short but incredibly strong legs, heavily developed shoulder muscles for explosive jumps, and hooves that are both sharp and flexible, able to grip tiny cracks in the rock like fingertips. When a goral climbs, it doesn't simply walk, it floats, shifting weight from one hoof to the next with such grace it seems to dance in midair. In winter, when the mountains freeze solid and icy winds slash across the peaks, the goral continues climbing, seeking the last remaining tufts of dry grass wedged between the rocks. Its thick, two-layered ash-gray coat blends seamlessly with the cliffs while insulating its body from temperatures far below freezing. It does not hibernate, and it does not migrate. Instead, it faces the Siberian winter head-on, with a stubborn determination that borders on heroic. Thanks to its unmatched climbing skills, the goral can live at heights of up to 2,500 meters, where large predators like wolves and bears struggle to follow. But danger still lurks. The snow leopard, the ghost of the mountains, is the goral's greatest enemy. Silent, agile, and relentless, the snow leopard can pursue the goral into treacherous terrain that would terrify most creatures. These chases become some of the most breathtaking duels in nature. The goral leaps from rock to rock, sometimes across gaps longer than its own body length. One wrong step means death, but hesitation is even deadlier when the snow leopard's jaws are only meters behind. Time and again, it is the goral's speed, balance, and sheer boldness that allow it to escape death by a razor-thin margin. When spring arrives and melting ice turns into streams cascading down the mountainsides, goral mothers give birth. The young are born on small, rocky ledges, suspended high above the ground. From their very first hours, the newborns must learn to stand, balance, and follow their mothers, for in this place, even a moment's delay can be fatal. Thanks to strong instincts and agile legs, they quickly join the dangerous rhythm of life on the cliffs. Summer brings a wider variety of food. Tender leaves, new shoots, and alpine herbs growing along the rocky slopes. The goral eats sparsely but consistently, storing energy for the grueling winter ahead. This humble, resilient lifestyle is what makes it one of the most adaptable creatures in Siberia's high mountains. Yet, like many animals of this icy kingdom, the goral faces growing threats from humans. Mining operations, road construction, deforestation, and climate change are shrinking and fragmenting its habitat. Ancient cliff territories once safe from disturbance are now cut by new pathways or pushed upward as human presence expands. The goral is forced into higher, steeper, more dangerous terrain where survival becomes even more precarious. And still, it endures. Still, it stands proudly on the high cliffs, stepping gracefully along ledges that make even seasoned mountaineers dizzy. It embodies resilience and finesse, two qualities that have carried it through thousands of years of shifting climate, predators, and human encroachment. In the frozen kingdom of Siberia, where the mighty bison reign with brute strength, the bears with power, the tigers with majesty, and the foxes with cunning, the goral shines in its own quiet way. Not loud, not dramatic, but unbreakable. It is not a ruler, but it is a survivor, and in its silence lies its greatest strength. Such is the Siberian goral, a small creature with a heart as unyielding as the mountains it calls home. Asterisk. Beneath the towering canopy of the endless taiga, where the winter sun is only strong enough to cast thin rays through layers of snow, the Siberian squirrel continues its ceaseless, restless life. Asterisk. Small, swift, and seemingly fragile in a land forever weighed down by ice and wind, yet it is the squirrel that stands among the most resilient, intelligent, and ecologically vital creatures of this entire frozen kingdom. A truth many would never expect. To survive winters that can last half a year, with temperatures often sinking below 40 degrees Celsius, the Siberian squirrel does not rely on strength or ferocity. Instead, it depends on asterisk memory, dexterity, and speed. Asterisk abilities sharpened over countless generations. As autumn arrives and the taiga shifts from deep green to amber and brown, the squirrel begins its frantic work. It races from trunk to treetop, darting across slender pine branches and thick cedar boughs, gathering cones, hazelnuts, acorns, and even dried mushrooms. In a single day, one squirrel may stash hundreds of food items across a wide territory. And here lies its brilliance. It stores food everywhere, not just in one place. If one cache is buried by snow or discovered by another animal, dozens of others remain safe. This scatter hoarding strategy is the key to its survival in the most merciless winters. But it also makes the squirrel one of the taiga's greatest forest engineers. For many of the seeds it stores and forgets eventually sprout into young trees, helping regenerate the forest. Without squirrels, the taiga's renewal would slow dramatically. When winter storms sweep across the forest and temperatures drop so low that boiling water can freeze in minutes, the Siberian squirrel retreats to its nest, a marvel of natural architecture made from soft moss, dry leaves, tiny twigs, and lined with bird or animal fur. These nests sit high in tree hollows or tucked deep in pine branches, shielded from the wind. Inside, the squirrel curls into a tight ball, its thick tail wrapped over its face like a blanket, warm breath forming tiny clouds in the dark. It does not fully hibernate, but enters a conservation state, waking only to feed or check its food stores. On the coldest days, when the forest becomes so silent you can hear snowflakes land on branches, the squirrel may burst from its nest like a streak of shadow sprinting across treetops faster than the eye can follow. Its agility is its only defense against predators. The golden eagle with its piercing vision, the Siberian lynx with its silent steps, the sable with its equal climbing ability. In a world where any small creature can become someone's next meal, the squirrel survives with cunning and finely tuned instincts. Like all Siberian animals, squirrels have a breeding season that mirrors the taiga's renewal. As the snow begins to melt and patches of moss turn green, the female builds or refurbishes her birthing nest. The babies are born tiny, blind, hairless, and helpless. But after 2 weeks, fur emerges. After 3, their eyes open. And by 5 weeks,
these skills were not merely for survival, but for maintaining the perfect balance of the jungle, which they revered as their sacred home. But the Huarani thrived not only through their skills. God gave them hearts full of love and unity. They lived in tightly knit communities, sharing food, nurturing their children, and protecting one another from harm. Their language was rich and expressive, blending seamlessly with the calls of the birds, as if they were the very voice of the forest itself. The Huarani believe the Amazon is not just a dwelling, but a great mother, nurturing and sheltering them for centuries. When a Huarani passes on, their soul does not disappear. It becomes part of the forest, turning into streams, trees, or the song of a bird at dawn. The Huarani are not just a part of the Amazon, they are the heartbeat of the forest, the guardians of the ancient secrets God wove into every inch of its soil, every drop of its water, and every rhythm of its life. Deep within the Amazon rainforest, where sunlight barely filters through the dense canopy, a majestic and mysterious creature moves silently. This is the jaguar, the uncrowned ruler of the greatest tropical forest on Earth. The jaguar, Panthera onca, is the largest cat in the Americas and the most powerful predator in the Amazon. With unmatched strength and perfect adaptation, the jaguar has become a symbol of power since the dawn of this ancient forest. Its golden coat, adorned with distinctive black rosettes, is not only breathtakingly beautiful but also serves as the perfect camouflage. In the shadows of the rainforest, the jaguar waits in silence, poised for an explosive moment where every leap is an act of precise calculation and every bite is nature's declaration of power. Measuring up to 2.4 meters in length and weighing as much as 100 kilograms, the jaguar is not only massive but also incredibly strong. Its jaws deliver a bite force of up to 10,000 psi, far exceeding that of lions and tigers, making it the apex predator with the most powerful bite in the feline world. Unlike the neck-biting attacks of lions or tigers, the jaguar delivers a razor-sharp and precise strike to the skull, instantly incapacitating its prey. This is not just raw power, it is the art of predation, honed over thousands of years of evolution. The jaguar is not merely a predator, it is a vibrant symbol of balance, maintaining stability in the Amazon ecosystem by controlling other species' populations. In its silent majesty, the jaguar not only reigns over the green expanse, but also serves as a quiet guardian of nature. Imagine this forest without the jaguar. Their absence would not only mark the loss of a species, but also the disappearance of a vital piece in the magnificent puzzle that is the Amazon. In the dark waters of the Amazon, where sunlight barely penetrates and shadows dominate all, a creature of immense power lies hidden. The ultimate predator of the river, a manifestation of strength and enigma, moves like a phantom, silent, invisible, leaving only fear in its wake. Measuring up to 6 meters in length and weighing over 400 kilograms. But this creature is more than a predator. It is a symbol of authority. Its sleek black skin not only offers protection but also serves as perfect camouflage, blending seamlessly into the dark waters, rendering it invisible to its prey. Only its piercing eyes and nostrils just above the water's surface hint at its presence. A silent yet menacing reminder that the river is never truly at peace. In his infinite wisdom, God endowed this creature with incredible abilities. Its massive jaws deliver an astonishing bite force of 3,700 pounds per square inch. Capable of crushing bones and overpowering any prey, from large fish and mammals to the most daring challengers. But it is not just brute force. It also possesses the intelligence of a masterful hunter. This creature is a patient strategist. It remains motionless in the water, exposing only a fraction of its body as it waits for its prey to approach. Then, with a sudden burst of energy and a deadly snap, the tranquil surface is shattered by the storm of life and death. But this predator is more than a hunter. It is a guardian of the Amazon's ecological balance. By controlling populations of fish and small animals, it ensures that no species overpopulates, safeguarding the region's rich biodiversity. Its role is akin to a compass, guiding the life cycles of the river in seamless harmony. This creature does not merely exist, it thrives as a symbol of resilience and power. During the dry season, it retreats to deeper waters. When the rains return, it moves into flooded areas as if orchestrating the rhythm of the river's life. In the legends of the Amazon's indigenous people, this creature is not merely an animal, it eats tea, a messenger of the river. A symbol of strength and balance. Revered as the living soul of the Amazon, it reminds them of nature's boundless power and the importance of living in harmony with the world. The presence of this creature signifies a healthy ecosystem. Its survival is a reminder that everything in nature is interconnected. When it declines, it signals that the Amazon itself is under threat from human activity. Gaze into the eyes of this creature and you will see the essence of the Amazon River, powerful, enigmatic, and ever-flowing. It is not just a predator, it is the guardian of the river, an eternal symbol of the harmony and strength that God has imprinted upon nature. High in the canopy of the Amazon rainforest, where sunlight filters softly through dense leaves, a swift and graceful creature dances through the air. This is the spider monkey, the master of movement in the jungle, a primate often likened to the dancers of nature. Spider monkeys, or ateles, belong to the Atelidae family and are one of the most vibrant symbols of the Amazon's lowland tropical rainforest ecosystem. Among them, the black-handed spider monkey, Ateles belzebuth, stands out as a symbol of intelligence and perfect adaptation. Emerging around 4 million years ago during the Pleistocene epoch, spider monkeys are part of the New World primates, a lineage of smart survivors that split from their Old World counterparts tens of millions of years ago. Over millions of years of evolution, they have developed slender yet incredibly agile bodies, with a torso length reaching up to 50 centimeters, and when combined with their powerful tails, a total length exceeding 1 meter. The spider monkey's long tail is more than just a body part. It is a fifth limb, a unique tool bestowed by nature. With this remarkable tail, they can grip branches, move effortlessly from tree to tree, like acrobats performing in the heart of the jungle. This extraordinary mobility helps spider monkeys maintain balance as they forage for food and stay clear of predators lurking beneath the dense forest canopy. But spider monkeys are remarkable not just for their agility. They possess exceptional intelligence, demonstrated through problem-solving abilities, the use of simple tools and strategic thinking to overcome the challenges of the Amazon. Studies have shown that spider monkeys can remember the location of food in a three-dimensional space and even learn from their peers, a crucial skill for surviving in such a demanding environment. Spider monkeys inhabit the highest layers of the forest, where they not only forage but also build intricate social relationships. They are never alone, living in large groups of 20 to 30 individuals, sharing food, caring for one another, and alerting each other to potential dangers. When faced with a threat, spider monkeys emit piercing calls that echo through the jungle, a symphony of warnings that helps keep their group safe from predators. Their diet consists primarily of fruits, leaves, and seeds, but their meals serve a greater purpose than mere survival. By consuming and dispersing seeds through their droppings, spider monkeys inadvertently act as gardeners of the rainforest, sustaining and regenerating life within the Amazon ecosystem. Spider monkeys are not just residents of the forest, they are silent guardians, an essential link in the cycle of life within the Amazon. Every leap, every action they take contributes to the perfect balance that God has ordained for this magnificent jungle. Amid the towering canopies of the Amazon rainforest, where sunlight filters sparingly through dense leaves like golden beams, a wondrous creature appears. The blue and yellow macaw, as vibrant as a living gem, seems like a gift from God to this majestic forest. Known scientifically as Ara ararauna, the blue and yellow macaw is more than just a bird. It is a symbol of vibrant life and ceaseless motion. Its dazzling blue feathers on its back and radiant yellow chest and belly, combined with its keen eyes, make it a striking presence in the heart of the Amazon. When its wings, spanning up to 1 meter, spread wide, the sky is painted with nature's most exquisite artistry. But the blue and yellow macaw thrives on more than beauty. These tireless travelers soar dozens of kilometers daily in search of food and shelter. Their strong, sharp beaks are incredible tools, capable of cracking even the hardest nutshells, a feat few animals can match. This ensures their survival even in times of scarcity, showcasing their remarkable resilience. What truly sets the macaw apart, however, is its extraordinary social life. These birds are never solitary. They fly in pairs or live in large flocks, constantly communicating with one another through resounding calls, a harmonious symphony of the jungle. Macaw pairs often bond for life, exemplifying a love and loyalty that is both simple and profound, a lesson from nature to humankind. At dawn, as mist still cloaks the forest, the blue and yellow macaw begins its daily journey. Soaring high above the Amazon, they search for fruits and seeds, their vital sustenance. Yet their journey is about more than nourishment. As macaws consume fruit and disperse seeds through their droppings, they become inadvertent gardeners of the rainforest. These seeds take root, regenerating life in the jungle and contributing to nature's endless cycle. For centuries, the indigenous people of the Amazon have regarded the blue and yellow macaw as sacred. Their radiant feathers are used in religious ceremonies, symbolizing harmony and gratitude toward nature. The macaw's resonant calls are more than mere communication. They echo like prayers to God, celebrating the wonder of the forest. The blue and yellow macaw lives primarily in the upper canopy of the rainforest, where sunlight kisses every leaf, nurturing a sanctuary for thousands of bird and animal species. This layer, rising 20 to 40 meters above the ground, is a world of its own, a verdant paradise where magnificent creatures like the macaw compose an unending symphony of life. The blue and yellow macaw is not just a dazzling inhabitant of the Amazon, it is a living embodiment of life, connection, and the love God has bestowed upon this extraordinary forest. High in the towering canopies of the Amazon rainforest, where sunlight barely filters through the dense foliage, a remarkable creature appears, the toucan. With its vibrant plumage and unique beak, it seems as though God has imbued this bird with a touch of his own magic. The toucan, scientifically known as Ramphastos toko, is more than just a bird. It is a symbol of nature's incredible creativity. Measuring up to 60 centimeters in length, with a nearly 20 centimeters long beak, and a striking combination of glossy black feathers accented by white and orange hues, the toucan is a jewel in the paradise of the Amazon. But its beauty is not merely for show, it is a perfect fusion of form and function. The toucan's iconic beak is more than a tool for foraging. It serves as a key to access fruits in hard-to-reach places where other birds cannot go. In his infinite wisdom, God also granted this beak the ability to act as a defense against predators and even help regulate the bird's body temperature, ensuring its survival in the challenging tropical environment. But the toucan does not live for itself alone. It is one of the gardeners of the Amazon. As it consumes fruit, it swallows the seeds whole and disperses them throughout the forest via its droppings. Studies have shown that toucans can spread seeds over distances of 10 to 20 kilometers, contributing to the regeneration and growth of the Amazon's lush vegetation. Through this seemingly simple act, the toucan becomes an indispensable link in the rainforest's life cycle. Life in the upper canopy of the Amazon is not easy. The toucan, with its short but powerful wings, must navigate swiftly between branches, hopping from one to another to find food, while evading predators such as snakes and eagles. The toucan uses its beak as a defensive weapon or quickly hides within the dense foliage. What makes the toucan truly special is not just its intelligence or survival skills, but its strong social connections. They live in small groups, typically ranging from 6 to 12 individuals, where each member looks out for the others. In times of scarcity, they share what they have, a beautiful display of compassion and unity, as if God intended them to teach humanity a lesson in kindness and generosity. For the indigenous people of the Amazon, the toucan is a symbol of prosperity and vitality. Its radiant feathers feature prominently in traditional ceremonies representing harmony with nature. The toucan is not merely a resident of the Amazon, it is its living spirit, a testament to the balance and beauty that God has bestowed upon this magnificent rainforest. In the dawn of time, when God laid the foundations of the Amazon rainforest, he created a small yet extraordinary creature, the leafcutter ant. They are not just tireless workers, but silent guardians, carrying out a sacred mission to nurture life and uphold the cycle of the great forest. From afar, a colony of leafcutter ants appears as a flowing river of green, each tiny ant carrying a piece of leaf on its back. But do not be deceived by their size. These creatures are nature's architects, pioneers of the Amazon ecosystem, where every step they take shapes the life of the jungle. In his infinite wisdom, God granted the leafcutter ant a unique ability. With their sharp mandibles, they cut leaves far larger than themselves, carrying them back to their nests to cultivate a special fungus, their primary food source. This is not just survival, it is advanced agriculture, a marvel that only nature could conceive. The leaves, once processed by the ants, not only feed the fungus but also enrich the soil, returning nutrients to the forest floor. God intricately wove every thread of this life cycle together, and the leafcutter ant serves as the heartbeat of the Amazon ecosystem. Beneath the forest floor, a leafcutter ant nest is a biological wonder, a subterranean city with countless chambers, tunnels, and specialized areas. Millions of ants live and work in perfect harmony. Every worker, soldier, and fungus tender understands its role within the colony. None are left behind, none stand idle. It is a profound lesson in unity and responsibility that God offers to all of us. Imagine a stream of leafcutter ants moving tirelessly through the forest. The green fragments they carry resemble tiny victory flags, symbols of their perseverance and strength. Each ant, though small, carries the spirit of a warrior, working relentlessly to fulfill the mission God entrusted to them. For the indigenous peoples of the Amazon, the leafcutter ant has long been a symbol of diligence and harmony with nature. To them, these small creatures are a divine reminder that every being, no matter how tiny, plays an essential role in the grand design of life. Leafcutter ants do more than cut leaves and build nests. They regenerate the forest, enrich the soil, and maintain the ecological balance upon which the entire Amazon depends. With every step they take, every leaf they carry, they fulfill God's will, keeping this rainforest vibrant and alive. Let us bow before these small yet extraordinary creatures, the leaf-cutting warriors of the Amazon. They are not just ants, they are the keepers of the forest's rhythm, living proof of God's boundless wisdom and wonder. Amid the towering treetops of the Amazon rainforest, where time seems to stand still and sunlight gently filters through lush green leaves, a creature moves with deliberate slowness, as if unbothered by haste. This is the three-toed sloth, a miraculous creation of God, embodying patience and balance in the grand cycle of life. Within this magnificent forest, scientifically known as Bradypus variegatus, the three-toed sloth is one of the Amazon's oldest and most enigmatic residents. Over millions of years, it has evolved to perfectly adapt to the high canopy of the forest, where it finds safety, sustenance, and an ideal space to thrive. Cloaked in greenish-grey fur, often harboring algae, the sloth not only blends seamlessly into its surroundings, but also creates a micro-ecosystem on its own body, home to countless microorganisms and tiny insects. The three-toed sloth lives a life of extraordinary slowness, moving at a speed of just 0.24 kilometers per hour, a survival strategy optimized for conserving energy. While other animals flee predators in haste, the sloth chooses to live quietly, perfectly camouflaged, avoiding attention altogether. This deliberate slowness is not just a means of survival, it symbolizes harmony with nature, utilizing the forest's offerings without competition or destruction. The leaves the sloth eats daily may not be nutrient-rich, but in his infinite wisdom, God gifted the sloth with a unique digestive system. Its multi-chambered stomach allows it to break down large amounts of cellulose from the leaves, a process that can take 5 to 7 days to complete. Through this remarkable evolution, the sloth thrives on a modest diet, maintaining its resilience in the challenging rainforest environment. The sloth descends to the ground only once a week, a perilous journey as on land, it becomes vulnerable to predators like the harpy eagle or jaguar. Yet even in these moments of vulnerability, the sloth moves with a calm grace, as if aware that every step aligns with the divine plan God has laid out for it. Despite its slow demeanor, the three-toed sloth plays a vital role in the Amazon's life cycle. By feeding on leaves, it helps regulate vegetation growth while also serving as a crucial food source for predators, maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Within its greenish-grey fur, where algae grow and insects dwell, the sloth fosters a miniature habitat symbolizing the interconnectedness God has imbued in all of nature. The sloth does not rush, does not compete. It exists as a gentle reminder that in slowness and stillness, true harmony with nature can be found. The indigenous people of the Amazon have long revered the three-toed sloth as a symbol of balance and wisdom, a creature embodying a slow but steadfast rhythm of life, enduring the trials of time. Amid the endless currents of the Amazon River, where the sunlight dances on the water's surface like shimmering mirrors, a magnificent creature emerges. The giant otter, the uncrowned king of freshwater realms, stands as a divine reminder from God that strength lies not only in size or speed, but also in unity and a sacred bond with family and nature. Scientifically known as Pteronura brasiliensis, the giant otter is the largest otter species in the world, reaching up to 2 meters in length and exuding undeniable majesty. Its sleek brown fur glistens under the sunlight, and its intelligent, gleaming eyes seem to have been crafted by God to make it a formidable guardian of the Amazon's waterways. In his infinite wisdom, God gifted the giant otter with perfectly webbed feet and a powerful tail. These creatures do not merely swim, they glide through the water like dancers, with each tail thrust a masterpiece of precision and speed. Beneath the surface, they are relentless predators, their agility and hunting prowess unmatched as they chase down prey with astonishing skill. But the giant otter does not hunt merely for survival. It is a protector of the river, playing a vital role in maintaining ecological balance. By preying on fish and crabs, it regulates the populations of these species, ensuring the river's life cycle remains whole and unbroken. The giant otter embodies unity. It is never alone. Living in family groups of 3 to 10 individuals, these creatures forge deep bonds with one another. Their vocal calls are not just a means of communication, they are symphonies of love and cooperation. When danger looms, they stand together, fiercely protecting their family with unwavering strength and courage, becoming true warriors of the Amazon. But do not be deceived by their grace and solidarity. When challenged, the giant otter transforms into a fearless contender, capable of confronting large predators like caimans or jaguars. Their resilience serves as a testament to a profound truth. True strength comes from familial bonds and the divine mission entrusted by God. To the indigenous people of the Amazon, the giant otter is more than just an animal. It is a symbol of vitality, prosperity, and the sacred connection to nature. In ancient legends, they are revered as guardians of the river, beings imbued with God's breath, ensuring the waters remain pure and teeming with life. The giant otter does not merely exist, it sustains life. With every tail flick, every call, and every hunt, it not only nurtures its family, but also safeguards the vast ecosystem of the Amazon. They are not rulers, they are stewards, messengers of balance and harmony. Deep within the dark waters of the Amazon, where sunlight struggles to reach, a remarkable creature quietly exists, the electric eel, one of the most extraordinary creations God has gifted to this river. With its humble appearance, yet astonishing power, the electric eel stands as a symbol of mystery and might, a living testament to the boundless wisdom of creation. The electric eel, scientifically known as Electrophorus electricus, is a one-of-a-kind marvel. Its long, slender body, which can reach up to 2.5 meters in length and weigh over 20 kilograms, makes it more than just a fish. It is a masterpiece of perfect adaptation. But what truly sets the electric eel apart is not its appearance, but its unique ability, the power to generate electricity. In his infinite wisdom, God bestowed the electric eel with an extraordinary gift, the ability to produce electrical discharges of up to 600 volts, enough to stun or incapacitate any creature encroaching on its territory. Its body contains thousands of specialized cells called electrocytes, functioning like tiny batteries connected in series. When threatened or hunting, the eel releases this electricity with precision and power, as if the Amazon itself were unleashing bolts of lightning from its depths. The electric eel is not an aggressive predator, but a master of skill and patience. It lurks silently on the riverbed, using its ability to detect electromagnetic signals to locate prey in the murky, dark waters. A single powerful discharge stuns small fish, shrimp, or crabs, allowing the eel to capture its prey effortlessly without prolonged struggle. But the electric eel is more than a predator. It plays a crucial role in the Amazon's ecosystem. As it moves and hunts, it stirs the riverbed, bringing nutrients from the bottom to the surface, supporting the growth of aquatic plants and microorganisms. Its existence is an integral part of maintaining the balance and vitality of the river. In the legends of the Amazon's indigenous people, the electric eel is more than a creature. It is a manifestation of power and mystery. Revered as the guardian of the river, it symbolizes latent energy and unyielding authority. They believe that God created the electric eel as a reminder that even in silence, unparalleled strength resides. Each time the electric eel releases a powerful charge, it is not merely an act of survival, it is a reminder that the Amazon River, with all its wonders and mysteries, holds an unparalleled vitality and boundless power. Look into the eyes of the electric eel and you will glimpse a fragment of the Amazon River, mysterious, powerful, and full of surprises. It is not just a creature of nature, it is a symbol of creation and strength, embodying the energy that God has imbued in this magnificent river. Unlike the electric eel, a solitary predator, the red-bellied piranha is a master of collective strategy. These fish don't hunt alone, they live and prey in schools, drawing strength from unity. When hunting, the entire school attacks like a storm, delivering lightning-fast bites that leave their prey with no chance to escape. Their razor-sharp teeth can tear through flesh and crush bones in mere seconds, making them relentless predators. Scientifically known as Pygocentrus natureri, the red-bellied piranha, one of the most infamous and feared creatures of the Amazon, is a striking example of nature's power. Measuring only 20 to 30 centimeters in length, their compact but powerful bodies are covered in shimmering silver scales, accented by the vivid red of their bellies and fins. Their piercing eyes and razor-sharp teeth serve as a reminder that size is not the measure of strength. Sharpness and decisiveness are what command respect. Despite their fearsome reputation, red-bellied piranhas are not just aggressive hunters. They are the cleaners of the river, scavenging carcasses and organic debris to keep the waters of the Amazon clean. This role serves as a reminder that in every creature, no matter how intimidating, lies a sacred mission entrusted by God to sustain the natural cycle of life. Hidden among the dense foliage and intricate web of life in the Amazon, where sunlight barely reaches the forest floor, a small yet enigmatic creature resides, the spider. A creation of God, it is endowed with the remarkable ability to weave intricate and ingenious traps as if he intended to showcase nature's artistry in this tiny being. Amazonian spiders, with thousands of species, are extraordinary creatures crafted by God to balance and sustain life in the tropical rainforest. From giant hunting spiders with impressive size to golden orb weavers spinning radiant webs that shimmer in the sunlight, each species carries a unique purpose. In his infinite wisdom, God gave Amazonian spiders incredible abilities. Their silk, spun from their own bodies, is not only stronger than steel, but also the perfect tool for hunting. Spider webs are more than just traps. They are living works of art, glistening in the light and reflecting the harmony of strength and beauty. Spiders are not just silent predators, but also master strategists. They patiently wait for unsuspecting prey to stumble into their webs, then pounce with astonishing speed. Their long, agile legs move like a dancer's, executing precise, calculated movements that are both gentle and highly effective. But spiders do not hunt for themselves alone. They are guardians of balance in the Amazon. By controlling populations of insects and small animals, they prevent the ecosystem from tipping into chaos. Their role as silent forest keepers ensures that every link in the natural cycle continues seamlessly. In the culture of the Amazon's indigenous people, spiders are symbols of creativity and resilience. Legends tell of how God gave spiders the ability to weave webs as a reminder to humanity of nature's interconnectedness, that all things are linked. Each strand of a spider's web is believed to represent a thread of life, safeguarded and guided by God. These tiny spiders may often be overlooked, but their role is irreplaceable. Every web spun, every hunt completed, contributes to the rainforest's survival. God created spiders not just to exist, but to teach us about creativity, patience, and living in harmony with nature. Look closely at a spider's shimmering web among the Amazon's trees, and you will witness the marvel of creation, a symbol of perfection and infinite wisdom that God has etched into every thread. Deep within the lush greenery of the Amazon, where every corner holds an air of mystery, a small yet radiant creature appears like a living gem of nature. The poison dart frog, a creation of God, captivates with its dazzling beauty while instilling fear in all who dare to approach. Crafted as a reminder of the delicate balance between beauty and danger, the poison dart frog is a testament to God's infinite wisdom in the design of all living things. Scientifically known as Dendrobatidae, the poison dart frog is among the most striking inhabitants of the Amazon, measuring less than Black's 5 centimeters. It is adorned in the most vibrant colors nature has to offer: brilliant yellows, neon greens, deep reds, and intricate patterns that look like living works of art. But do not let its brilliant appearance fool you. These colors are not meant to attract, but to warn. Within its tiny body lies a potent toxin, powerful enough to subdue any creature that dares challenge it. In his boundless creativity, God endowed the poison dart frog with a weapon that defies imagination. Its toxin, particularly yasta, batrachotoxin, one of the most potent natural poisons known, can paralyze muscles and stop a heart with just a minuscule amount. Remarkably, this toxin is not produced naturally by the frog, but is accumulated through its diet of small insects. This ingenious adaptation makes the poison dart frog a biological marvel, a creature that defends itself through the very sustenance it consumes. But what makes the poison dart frog truly extraordinary is not only its toxicity, but also the subtle elegance of its existence. Unlike aggressive predators, it lives quietly, yet with undeniable authority. Hidden among the leaves, it uses its vibrant colors as a silent shield, warning potential threats to think twice before attacking. Despite its size, the poison dart frog plays an irreplaceable role in the complex ecosystem of the Amazon. It acts as a regulator of insect populations, maintaining balance in the rainforest. By participating in the food chain, it connects every link in the cycle of life, from tiny insects to larger predators like snakes and birds. Its role is a reminder that even the smallest creatures can wield the power to shape an entire ecosystem. To the indigenous people of the Amazon, the poison dart frog is more than a creature. It is a messenger of God. Its vibrant colors are seen as a divine gift, a symbol of creativity and power. For generations, indigenous communities have learned to respect and harness its toxins for their blow darts, a practice steeped in reverence for nature. In ancient myths, the poison dart frog is revered as a guardian of the forest, embodying resilience and an unyielding spirit. These tiny frogs teach us profound lessons. Their radiant colors remind us that standing out does not equate to weakness, while their lethal toxins show that even the smallest beings carry immense power. God created the poison dart frog not merely to survive, but to inspire, to remind us that every corner of nature holds a balance and wisdom that transcends human understanding. Gaze upon the vibrant colors of the poison dart frog, and you will witness the marvel of creation, a perfect fusion of beauty, strength, and balance. They are not just creatures of the Amazon, they are symbols of the creativity and power that God has woven into every detail of life. Deep within the Amazon rainforest, where towering trees stand as guardians of life, an unrelenting tragedy unfolds. Wildfires and deforestation, two unstoppable forces of destruction, are ravaging the Earth's heart. The Amazon, called the planet's great green lungs, is not only crying out for help, but threatening the fragile balance of humanity's survival. Every year, millions of hectares of Amazon rainforest are consumed by raging wildfires. These fires are not all natural disasters. Most are ignited by the human hands. Flames are intentionally set to clear land for agriculture, cattle grazing, or resource extraction, turning the Amazon from a fortress of greenery into a charred, barren wasteland. When the fires ignite, it's not just trees that burn. Millions of animal and plant lives are lost. Jaguars lose their hunting grounds, sloths cling desperately to charred branches, and flocks of birds flee in panic, abandoning their homes. The flames destroy more than the landscape, they incinerate the future. If wildfires are an immediate catastrophe, deforestation is a slow, bleeding wound the Amazon endures daily. Towering ancient trees, once the pillars of life, are brought down by the sharp, cold teeth of chainsaws, leaving behind scars of emptiness on the planet's green lungs. What were once pristine forests, home to thousands of species, are now desolate clearings. Ecosystems are disrupted, rivers lose their natural protective barriers, and the soil becomes infertile, unable to sustain life. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is the lungs of the planet, absorbing billions of tons of carbon dioxide each year and producing vast amounts of oxygen essential for life. When the forest burns or is cleared, those lungs falter, releasing massive amounts of carbon into the atmosphere, accelerating climate change. Moreover, the loss of the Amazon means losing over 10% of the world's biodiversity. Rare animals like river dolphins, giant otters, and undiscovered medicinal plants face the risk of vanishing forever. The Amazon's destruction isn't just its loss, it is humanity losing its chance for a sustainable future. Despite this seemingly endless tragedy, hope still glimmers. Conservationists, international organizations, and indigenous communities are tirelessly fighting to protect the rainforest. Advanced technology helps detect wildfires early. Global movements advocating for reduced consumption of Amazon-destructive products like beef and illegal timber are gaining traction. Reforestation, ecosystem restoration, and community education about the Amazon's importance are also creating new rays of hope. Every tree planted, every forest protected is a small yet significant step towards saving the planet's green lungs. God created the Amazon as a miraculous gift to Earth, a place where life intertwines within the forest's protective embrace. Yet humanity, driven by greed and carelessness, has disrupted this sacred balance. Act now, save the rainforest, preserve life, and ensure that future generations won't bear the weight of the destruction we've caused. The Amazon is more than a forest, it is the breath of the planet, the heartbeat of life. Don't let the flames of greed and destruction take away the gift God has bestowed upon us. The Amazon rainforest, the planet's green lungs, is a miraculous gift God has bestowed upon humanity. It is not only a sanctuary for millions of plant and animal species, but also a living symbol of harmony between nature and divine creation. Yet like all precious things, the Amazon needs our protection. The ARPA project, the world's largest conservation program, stands as a shield guarding the Amazon against human destruction and the threats of climate change. Since 2002, with support from the Brazilian government and international organizations, ARPA has successfully protected over 128 million hectares of forest. Not only curbing deforestation, but also fostering sustainable development for communities that depend on the forest. The most moving stories come from the indigenous peoples, like the Kayapo tribe, who have risen to defend their home. With the help of NGOs, they have established their own reserves, managing and safeguarding over 11 million hectares of forest, where wildlife like macaws and the long-tailed boa can continue to thrive peacefully. Thanks to these tireless efforts, deforestation rates have dropped significantly, and the Amazon is slowly but surely beginning to heal. Like all miracles in the Bible, the salvation of the Amazon stems not only from science, but also from our faith, love, and humanity's unity with nature. God created the Amazon as a home for millions of species, a testament to his boundless love for all living things on Earth. We live under the shade of the Amazon's vast canopy, benefiting from the life it breathes into our planet. But with this gift comes the responsibility to preserve and sustain its biodiversity. We don't need to wait for monumental solutions. Every small action from you, from me, from all of us can make a difference. Supporting conservation projects, spreading awareness, or simply living responsibly with nature, all these efforts contribute to protecting the Amazon. The Amazon is more than just a forest. It is a living testament to God's infinite love. Let us protect this miraculous gift so millions of creatures can continue to call it home, and so our planet may always have a green, vibrant future. Prepare for the brutal months ahead by storing a thick layer of fat, making up 10 to 15% of their body weight. This fat reserve is their lifeline, sustaining them through the long, food-scarce winter. As the cold sets in, they move less, seeking food only in accessible areas. Every action is deliberate, each step a calculated effort to conserve energy, like a flickering oil lamp struggling against the deep winter night. But bison do not remain idle. They migrate seasonally, searching for areas with thinner snow cover or lower elevations where grass is easier to reach. Yet even when snow blankets the land in layers several feet thick, they have a way to uncover their food. With sheer strength, their massive heads and powerful necks become tools of survival. Using their foreheads like a plow, they sweep away the snow, clearing a path to the hidden grass below. This instinct is vital because in Yellowstone's unforgiving winter, the inability to find food means certain death. Bison may appear calm, sometimes even sluggish, but their survival instincts are nothing short of formidable. During the breeding season from June to September, peaking in July and August, mature bulls return to the herd, engaging in fierce battles for mating rights. These dramatic duels between Yellowstone's warriors unfold as thousands of pounds of muscle collide and razor-sharp horns strike with thunderous force. The greatest challenge isn't their own kind, it's the predators. Despite their massive size, bison must contend with Yellowstone's most formidable hunters, gray wolves and North American grizzly bears. As winter tightens its grip and food grows scarce, these predators become bolder, hungrier, and more ruthless than ever. In 2023, researchers from the Yellowstone Wildlife Research Institute recorded a sharp increase in encounters between wolves and bison. But what's truly remarkable is that bison are never easy prey. When cornered, they can sprint at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, 56 kilometers, an astonishing feat for an animal weighing over a ton. And when forced to fight, they unleash their razor-sharp horns and devastating headbutts, using their massive weight to crush any threat in their path. A lone wolf, no chance. A pack of wolves, not guaranteed. Mother bison in particular will fight to the bitter end to protect their calves. A single kick from their powerful hind legs can send a grown wolf flying. In some cases, entire wolf packs have been forced to retreat, unable to overcome the sheer resilience and determination of a united bison herd. In the legends of the wild, Yellowstone is more than just a national park. It is a grand stage where legendary predators emerge from the shadows of history to continue their epic tale of survival. Among the icons of this land, the North American grey wolf, Canis lupus, strides forward like a fearless warrior, upholding the delicate balance of the ecosystem through centuries of change. Millions of years ago, the ancestors of grey wolves roamed the icy plains and towering forests of Eurasia. As the Ice Age cast its shadow over the earth, a pioneering group of wolves dared to cross the Bering Land Bridge, the gateway connecting Asia and North America. From there, they embarked on an extraordinary journey across the continent, where mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and other prehistoric giants once ruled. But time is relentless. As the titans of the Ice Age faded into extinction, the gray wolf did not fall. They adapted, refining their hunting strategies, shifting their focus from mammoths to moose, bison, and wild deer. Wolves are not just predators, they are masters of survival, warriors who refuse to bow to the trials of time. Before European settlers arrived in North America, grey wolves were the true monarchs of the land. From the frozen Arctic to the deserts of Mexico, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, their haunting howls echoed across mountains, prairies, and forests. But then a new force emerged: humankind. In the 19th century, human expansion transformed vast wilderness into farmland, replacing wild herds with domestic livestock. Wolves, once the rulers of the land, were suddenly branded as enemies to be eradicated. Ruthless campaigns of hunting, poisoning, and shooting followed. By 1920, the last howl of the grey wolf had fallen silent in Yellowstone, leaving behind a broken and unbalanced ecosystem. But nature does not forget. In 1995 to 1996, humanity sought to make amends through one of the boldest conservation efforts in history, reintroducing grey wolves to Yellowstone. 31 wolves from Canada were released into the land that was once theirs. And like a song left unfinished, their howls once again resonated through the forests, awakening Yellowstone from a 70-year slumber. The wolves' return was more than just a repopulation, it was an ecological miracle. They restored forests, balanced elk populations, revitalized bird life, beaver colonies, and even reshaped the very flow of rivers and streams. Today, approximately 94 wolves, divided into 8 major packs, rule Yellowstone, while the broader ecosystem supports a population fluctuating between 528 and 883 individuals. These proud predators are not only remarkable for their survival skills, but also for their sheer physical presence. Height, 26 to 32 inches at the shoulder. Weight, 100 pounds, 130 pounds, males. 80, 110 pounds, females. Thick double-layered fur allows them to endure brutal temperatures as low as 40 degrees. A striking 45–50% of Yellowstone's wolves sport black coats, a rare genetic inheritance from ancient interbreeding with domestic dogs. Black fur is not just a symbol of mystery, it also offers a survival advantage. Studies suggest that the black coat gene may provide resistance to certain diseases, particularly canine distemper virus, one of the deadliest biological threats to wolves. Wolves do not live alone. They are disciplined warriors bound by the structure of the pack. Each pack consists of 4 to 15 members, led by an alpha pair, the undisputed king and queen. Packs do not just hunt together, they fiercely defend their vast territories, ranging from 50 to 1,000 square miles. The size of their domain depends on food availability and competition. When prey is abundant, packs claim smaller, well-guarded territories. In leaner times, they expand their range, engaging in brutal battles with rival packs to survive. Yellowstone is not just a place, it is a living story, a grand stage, where the grey wolf continues to write the epic saga of the wild. From the icy tundras of the past to battles against humanity and their miraculous resurgence, these wolves have proven that they are more than just predators. They are the very soul of Yellowstone, and their howls, echoing through the mighty mountains, will never fade into silence. In the frozen kingdom of Yellowstone, where nature tests every creature with its unforgiving wrath, one giant stands tall, a fearless warrior of the wild, the moose. Amid the snow-covered forests, its deep, resonant grunts echo like a proclamation of strength and pride. Scientifically known as Altis altis, the moose is not only the tallest and largest member of the deer family, but also one of the greatest surviving relics of the Ice Age. A living testament to endurance, it plays a silent yet vital role in maintaining the delicate balance of Yellowstone's ecosystem. Its sheer size alone makes the moose a towering monument of nature. Height, 6 to 7 feet at the shoulder. Weight, 900 to 1,600 pounds, males, 800, 1,300 pounds, females. But what truly elevates the moose to legendary status is its colossal antlers, a crown of dominance stretching up to 6 feet across, a symbol of unparalleled power. When the mating season arrives, the forests become a natural battlefield, where the thunderous clash of antlers rings out.
Guided by the leadership of the eldest females. What sets elephants apart is their memory. They remember waterholes, pathways, and rains, knowledge passed across generations. This living memory allows them to find life even in harsh drought years. Elephants are the architects of the savanna. They topple trees to let sunlight reach the ground and encourage grass to grow. In the dry season, they dig for water, leaving wells that sustain hundreds of other creatures. Eating about 300 pounds of vegetation a day, they reshape habitats, creating grazing grounds for antelopes, corridors for small herds, and open pathways for predators. Buffalo, the iron wall of the herd. African buffalo, one of the big five, embody the strength of unity. With massive curved horns and a helmet-like boss hard as iron, their very heads are shields. Buffalo move in large herds, sometimes 500 strong. When lions attack, the herd instantly tightens, protecting calves and weaker members. But they don't just defend, they strike back. Records show buffalo herds have turned on lions, goring even full-grown males. A 2023 field study revealed lions' success against large buffalo herds is only 10 to 15%. In the Mara's survival game, buffalo are not simply prey, they are predators' nightmares. Rhinos, the fragile shadows. Among the big five, black rhinos in the Mara are the most endangered. Weighing 1,800 to 3,000 pounds, solitary, wary, and sometimes aggressive, they should be untouchable. Yet their horns, up to 5 feet long, make them prime targets for poachers. According to the Kenya Wildlife Service in 2023, only about 30 to 40 black rhinos remain here. Patrol teams guard them day and night. If the rhino disappears, the big five will be broken, and the Mara will lose a piece of its soul. The Mara River, border of life and death. The Mara River is the stage of the migration's most dramatic act. From July to October, millions of wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles pour into its turbulent waters. Beneath the surface, Nile crocodiles up to 20 feet long, with bites of 3,700 psi, lie in ambush. On the banks, lions and hyenas wait. As the herds plunge in, the water erupts into foam, and cries echo across the valley. In minutes, the river becomes a battlefield drenched in red. Every leap into the current is a gamble. To cross is to live and reach green grass. To stumble is to become a feast for death. The Maasai people, soul of the land. The Maasai Mara is not only about wildlife, it is also the homeland of the Maasai, a semi-nomadic people bound to this land for centuries. Wearing their red shukas and carrying spears, they lead cattle across the same paths wildebeests and zebras still follow. For the Maasai, the Mara is more than home. It is a spiritual world. Once, a young warrior had to bring down a lion to prove his manhood. Today, they are guardians, working with conservancies to fight poaching and protect the migration. Culture and nature intertwine, making the Mara a dual heritage, ecological and cultural. Paradise and battleground, the Mara is a magnificent paradox. By day, it shines like paradise. Elephants roam, giraffes stride gracefully, birds burst into song. By night, it transforms into a battlefield where claws and hooves collide, and death fuels life. It is this coexistence, heaven and hell, life and death, that makes the Masai Mara the heart of wild Africa. The Mara is not just a place. It is an epic where every drop of blood feeds renewal, and every roar, cry, and thunder of hooves writes the endless symphony of nature.